Mental health is real. Seek help and the stigma. On the news this evening, analyst says Rivers Assembly probe equals probing President Tinubu and National Assembly. Governor Fubara decries on the use of Rivers ports. ECOWAS Parliament opens 2025 second extraordinary session in Port Harcourt. Police arrest 3 suspected kidnappers in River State. On the foreign scene, World Summit to meet on two-state solution as support grows for Palestinian state. I'm Sam Chinedu, and the news continues after the break. Back. A Lagos political analyst, Liberal Soshoma, says the plan by the River State House of Assembly to check how much money was spent during the 6 months of emergency rule is the same as probing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the National Assembly. Mr. Soshoma spoke in an interview with correspondent Soibi Ruwari on the implication of the move.
When the state of emergency was declared, legally speaking, it is the president that was now governing Rivers State through an administrator. In compliance with Section 11, the National Assembly makes laws for the state. Part of it was the appropriation law for the state. So any investigation that is being conducted at this time, you can say that investigation certainly is investigating the conduct of the president in the affairs of the state for that 6 months, because the administrator reports directly to the president.
Mr. Sharma said the lawmakers' move will not bring any results since they have already promised full support to the president.
So if you look at it altruistically, you will say fantastic. It is good to look at the books, how much was spent, how much was budgeted, was money properly utilized. But in the long run, you ask yourself, these people who are investigating the affairs of the president through an administrator, these people are too deep in bed with the president for any good thing to come out of that investigation.
He said he hopes the State House of Assembly's move is not an attempt to probe government spending while the political crisis in the state is still unresolved.
By stretch of imagination, conjecture, you can say that this investigation that they are starting might not even end with 6 months. What is the guarantee that they will not stretch it to the last 2 years, when they had crisis with Fubara, when 4 members passed the budget and 3 members passed the budget, when majority of these members were not part of that appropriation law? Are we sure that's not where they are going to look into? That's why some people are saying that this problem in Rivers State might not just be over.
Yesterday, the former Rivers State Sole Administrator Ibokete Ibas replied to the Rivers State Assembly's plan to check how money was spent during his time in office. Between March and August 2025, Rivers State received over 254 billion naira from the Federation account while Ibas was in charge. But his media aide, Hector Ibiki Owubo, told Punch newspaper that the lawmakers have no right to investigate him because they were not the ones who made him administrator. He said the assembly members had been away from their work for months and are only trying to show they are active. He further explained that probing Ibas is the same as probing the president who appointed him and the National Assembly that supervised his work. He added that while the lawmakers are free to do what they think is their duty, trying to investigate Ibas would be a waste of time. Now let's shift focus from Rivers politics to Port Harcourt today, where leaders of the ECOWAS Parliament gathered for a major seminar on ethical governance and development. The Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Hadja Ibrahim, assured that lawmakers in the sub-region will continue to make laws that strengthen unity and promote justice among citizens. Speaking at the opening of the second 2025 Extraordinary Parliamentary Session in Port Harcourt, she said the session provides an opportunity to connect bold ideas for the future with responsible leadership in the present. According to her, the seminar is designed to inspire forward-thinking, ethical governance and meaningful budget debates while preparing members of ECOWAS to be vigilant, people-focused leaders for a stronger and more peaceful region. Earlier in his welcome address, the first Deputy Speaker and leader of the Nigeria delegation to the ECOWAS Parliament, Senator Barau Jibrin, explained the purpose of the seminar and why Port Harcourt was chosen as the venue.
For West Africa, the challenge is not whether AI will transform our societies, but how we as leaders, policymakers and parliamentarians will guide that transformation to ensure it strengthens democratic governance, deepens integration and improves the lives of our citizens. Parliament is the heartbeat of democracy. By leveraging AI, we can enhance legislative drafting, improve the quality and timeliness of oversight functions, and broaden citizen engagement in policy making.
On his part, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, represented by his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odun, urged the lawmakers to ensure their deliberations focus on how artificial intelligence can benefit the people of the sub-region.
The AI for governance that works in one country may not necessarily work in another country unless it is domesticated to take care of some differences. Your deliberations over the coming days will likely influence how African parliamentarians navigate the delicate balance between embracing AI's transformative potential and preserving the human-centered values that anchor democratic government.
Also speaking, the Speaker of the River State House of Assembly, Martin Amehule, pledged that the Assembly will translate the gains of the session into good laws for the benefit of the state.
The legislature at the sub-national level much more closer to the people when compared to the National Assembly. We believe that this particular section will be another opportunity for this Parliament to come up with resolutions that will impact heavily on the good people, not only Nigeria but the entire West African region. Those of us in the River State House of Assembly, we watch closely what we'll be doing while we are here in the River State and see what we can learn from what is going to happen here so that we can improve on what we're also doing here at some national level.
Correspondent Soebi Ruwari reports that the three-day seminar is themed Harnessing Artificial Intelligence for Parliamentary Ethical Governance and Development in the ECOWAS region. Back home in River State, the President General of the Grassroots Development Initiative, Bright Amehule, has taken a swipe at Governor Fubara's supporters over their airport reception for him last week. Speaking on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire, Amehule, a loyalist of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, argued that the governor should not have permitted such a reception.
Governor of River State is not for a particular group. It's for the people of River State. The governor would have allowed what happened. The return of the governor is not something that some persons will now say, our governor. They took it from the wrong side. They didn't take it the way that the governor will even succeed. They just took it the way that, they want one problem. They would allow the governor to return. Assume office. At the appropriate time, very, very appropriate time, the governor would have initiated a move where all of us would have gathered together and say, His Excellency, welcome back to Government House.
Amehule also said that to bridge the divide between Governor Fubara's supporters and those loyal to the FCT minister, the governor should organize a meeting with leaders from the FCT minister's camp to foster peace and ensure the smooth administration of the state.
The governor to call for a gathering, maybe a meeting, and talk to the people. And this gathering should include the leaders, the leaders of the states. After that, these people can now go back to the grassroots and talk to their people to embrace peace, embrace each other. Otherwise, no problem, go ahead, do your governorship.
He further questioned why supporters of Governor Fubara did not also welcome the state assembly members.
Why didn't they go to receive the assembly members? That's the state. They don't understand what they are doing. The assembly members have already announced that they were going to sit. So at the point of the assembly members now going back to sit, They would have as well moved to a place of sitting and then receive them, welcome them, and show solidarity than being sentimental. So what they just show to Rivers people is that, look, we are in support of governor, we are against assembly. So how can they work together?
We'll take a break, and after that, we tell you what the governor said about Rivers Port. Stay with us.
Congratulations, you're a sin.
Rejected claims by former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai that President Bola Tinubu wants to rule Nigeria for life. Tinubu's media aide, Bayo Onanuga, said on social media that El-Rufai's statement is just false talk meant to cause fear. He explained that President Tinubu is a true Democrat and will not go beyond the 2 terms allowed by the law. Onanuga also said El-Rufai is only angry because people in the north still support Tinubu strongly. He pointed to the warm welcome Tinubu got when he visited Kaduna recently. Moving on, Governor Siminalayi Fubara has decried the underutilization of the ports in Port Harcourt, in Rivers State. Governor Fubara said this when the board and management team of the Nigeria Port Authority paid him a courtesy visit at the government house in Port Harcourt today. He commended the management of the NPA for carrying the state government along in its projects.
Nigerian Ports Authority, not even waiting for us to call them to order, already understands this need to collaborate with government. I want to thank you. And look at us in River State. We are blessed. The Ports Authority, the one we have here in Port Harcourt, and the one we have. But the only issue is underutilization. I would like us, if it means to have another round of meeting, we can work out whatever it is, issues we're having, so that we can put two ports to good use.
The governor also promised to tackle the challenges of insecurity, flooding, illegal parking along the road, among other needs highlighted by the chairman of the board of NPA.
The road is a federal road, so I can't do anything about it. It's just to appeal continuously the federal government. But on the issue of the other activities along the road, now that we have a full government, we'll talk to the local government chairmen that are there and also set up some committees that can put those things in place. Security issues, one of the things we can do is to have a befitting police station there. On the issue of the flooding, if the roads are in order, the channels are properly done, those flooding issues will just so.
Earlier, the chairman of the board of the NPA, Senator Adedayo Adeyeye, listed needs of the NPA. He also thanked the governor for receiving them. Nigeria's real gross domestic product grew by 4.23% year-on-year in the second quarter of 2025. The National Bureau of Statistics said this in its Quarter 2 2025 GDP report. According to the report released today on its website, the figure shows a significant improvement compared to 3.48% recorded in the second quarter of 2024 and the 3.13% recorded in Quarter 1 2025. The figures signal a strengthening economy driven by recent rebasing, rebound in all sectors. To security matters now, police in Rivers State say they have arrested 3 young men for kidnapping. The arrest was made on September 14 by the Anti-Cultism Unit in Emohua. According to the police spokesperson, SP Grace Iringekoko, The suspects were picked up in different places in Obiakpo and Ikwere after a report that one man, Humphrey Wabara, was kidnapped on Iguruta Atali Road on August 26. The suspects are 20-year-old Hassan Mohammed, 25-year-old Bello Abubakar, and 23-year-old Yusuf. Police say the men confessed to their involvement in multiple kidnappings in the state, including the kidnap of Onwuli Jude and Nwabeze Nchekube on September 24, 2025 at School Road, Iguruta Atali, where they collected a ransom of about 6.9 million from his family. In Abuja, prison officers at Kuje stopped a man who tried to sneak drugs into the prison. This happened on Saturday afternoon during a routine check. The man's name is Njimogu Ikedi, and he hid what looked like Indian hemp and other drugs inside his clothes while trying to visit an inmate. Activities at the Greater Port Harcourt City Development Authority in Iguruta were grounded today following a protest by host communities. The protest, led by men and women from Igurutali, Omagwa, and Alu communities, was over alleged marginalization by the authority. Speaking during the protest, Chairman of Igurutali Community Development Committee, Franklin Okanduweje, accused the authority of failing to implement agreements reached with former Chairman Desmond Akao, particularly on employment. He also urged Governor Siminalayi Fubara not to reappoint the immediate past chairman, Seconte Davis.
Most unfortunate that all the efforts made by the former administrator, Ambassador Desmond Akao, that Seconte Davis came and paralyzed all of them. So we are saying no to his return. We learned that he has employed 15 people into the Greater Port Harcourt administration. Up to now, no one person from the host communities. The host communities is comprising the Guruta, Alo, and Omagwa. No single one person. Most of the contracts have been done by outsiders. Government did not pay for the land. They only paid us for economic trees, 300,000. And today we are suffering.
Also speaking, women leader of Igurutali, Beauty Nwoke, alleged that the authority is attempting to acquire more land from the communities without compensation.
Our government came and carried our land, and our children, those that finished school, they are not working. Even our women, they are not working. Our men, they are not working. They promise us that when they carry this land, that they are going to build university for us. They promise us that they are going to build market. They promise us that we're going to be here working. No one, we are not working again. They're coming again to come and carry another land, and we don't need them again. So we need to employ our children for work. They need to employ our husband for work. They need to bring the school.
Correspondent Emeka Otuka reports that the chairman of Ikwere local government area, Charles Wobodo, was on ground to address the protesters. He appealed for the removal of the barricade at the authority's entrance and pledged to mediate between the communities and the management.
I want to beg people should give me the opportunity to interface with these people and dialogue with them. If they don't agree, I'll come back to you people. Okay. And then if they do not agree, then we will not take another step. But for now, listen to me as your chairman. So it's my responsibility now to carry your message to them. I will not just carry the message, I will make sure that they implement those things we agree. Are you with me? Yes. So please, whatever that will bring threats to Ikwere local government, you are thinking that there was fight somewhere. No. And people begin to gather. Before I now came, I saw it's our women. Then what we came here is for peace. We have sent our message to them.
A staff of the authority, Best Man Honda, also promised to convey the protesters' demands to the management. To real estate news, imagine an estate where you can design your dream home just the way you want it. That's the vision behind Peace Park Estate, newly launched by Odibala Properties. The Chief Executive Officer, Bolaji Oshobukola, told newsmen the facility is offering over 300 plots with well-planned alternative roads. He said the estate will also feature recreational centers for residents to relax and unwind, while assuring prospective clients of safe transactions, stress-free investments, and good returns.
We have called people to come and see what we have so that they can invest. They want a secure place, so this gives them the opportunity to invest. This property is going to be developed within 4 years, so nobody is allowed to do land banking here exceeding 4 years. We are encouraging contemporary buildings. We are not giving a particular kind of building because people have their dream home. Why we provide them with necessary infrastructure like drainages, with the road, with light infrastructure, the clubhouse, and other facilities that will help them enjoy their investment. Just few poles from the major road and in a serenity where people are already living.
Mr. Oshobukola further advised potential buyers to always carry out due diligence, including verifying property documents through lawyers, to avoid doubts over authenticity.
We have just within 6 months to round up with our infrastructure in this estate. And that is why we are telling people, if you want to live in a serene environment, come to Peace Park. It's a place you can enjoy. So the sense value. Tell people that when you want to invest in real estate, you check the antecedent of the developer. It is very key because developers can market you and they market you with sweet talk. While you on your own, you have the right for due diligence. Employ the services of a lawyer to ensure that that property is properly acquired. And not just any lawyer, a lawyer you trust. For we as Udibola Properties, one thing we have always done is ensuring a proper due diligence that secure our title.
Comedians Emmanuel Chukwuemeka, also known as Investor Sabinus, and Bright Okocha, better known as Basket Mouth, also recommended the estate to the public and potential buyers.
It's a different case when you have finance and you don't know how to use the finance. This man made me understand the usage of finance. Ever since I met Udibola Properties, I think my life has gone from 4 to 500. All my properties, I get it through him, and no commerce. Instead, the thing they grow, the more. The house I stay in Port Harcourt, I bought it through him, so I can recommend Udibola Properties any day, anytime. Buy and go sleep.
Udibola is very reliable. If you pay attention, you will notice that I have never identified myself with any real estate. And for me to come out here, trust me, is 100% valid. I encourage everyone to try as much as possible. If you don't have the money, look for it. Invest. The location is prime.
Correspondent Rejoice Amadi reports that the highlight of the event was a special ministration and dedication of the estate by gospel singer Amaka Okwoha, popularly known as Chioma Jesus. Peace Park Estate is located at Obirikwere Airport Road, opposite OPM Church, Mbodoalu, Port Harcourt. On the international scene, several world leaders are expected to formally recognize a Palestinian state today at a summit convened by France and Saudi Arabia. But Israel says this move will undermine the prospects of a peaceful ending to the war in Gaza. While the summit in New York could boost the morale of Palestinians, it is not expected to deliver change on the ground, where the most far-right government in Israel's history has declared there will be no Palestinian state as it pushes on with its fight against militant group Hamas. On the news this evening, you heard an analyst say the Rivers Assembly probe will be equal to probing President Tinubu and the National Assembly. Governor Fubara has decried the underuse of Rivers Port. The ECOWAS Parliament has opened its 2025 second extraordinary session in Port Harcourt. Police have arrested 3 suspected kidnappers in Rivers State. On the foreign scene, World Summit to meet on 2-state solution as support grows for Palestinian state. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Sam Chinedu. Thanks for listening.